While the retail market focused on top-line growth, institutional capital quietly repositioned. The record-breaking semiconductor rally of the second quarter has hit a sudden, friction-filled wall as we transition into Q3. This is not just a standard technical pullback. We are seeing a fundamental repricing of momentum across global technology supply chains. Over the past 90 days, names like Nvidia and Taiwan Semiconductor enjoyed parabolic expansion. Yet, the opening weeks of the third quarter have delivered a cold shower to aggressive momentum strategies. The primary question is whether this slowdown indicates a structural top or simply a healthy consolidation period. Understanding this shift requires looking beyond daily price fluctuations to analyze the core business models of these silicon giants. That leads us to the core structural moats holding these businesses together. Companies like Taiwan Semiconductor and ASML do not just lead their markets, they practically dictate global technology roadmaps. ASML holds a virtual monopoly on extreme ultraviolet lithography systems. This critical technology is required to print the smallest node transistors on Earth. Similarly, TSMC operates as the absolute bottleneck of global manufacturing, producing over 90% of advanced chips. These moats provide immense pricing power, protecting margins even during broader economic slowdowns. However, having a massive technological advantage does not completely insulate these firms from macro cyclicality and valuation adjustments. But that is only part of the story. The relationship between fabless designers like Nvidia and Broadcom and their foundry partners reveals a delicate balance of power. Fabless models allow for incredible return on capital. These companies can focus entirely on design, architecture, and software ecosystems like Nvidia's CUDA platform. This software layer creates massive switching costs, cementing customer loyalty. Broadcom achieves similar success through its dominance in custom silicon and high-speed networking components. However, this entire structure relies on a highly concentrated, vulnerable supply chain. Any disruption at the foundry level instantly impacts the entire design ecosystem. Here's where the margin metrics become interesting. During the second quarter, we saw extraordinary margin expansion across the semiconductor value chain. Nvidia posted record gross margins of over 75%, driven by relentless demand for data center graphics processing units. AMD similarly demonstrated building momentum, with expanding margins in its data center division. These results reflected a period of unmatched pricing power where supply shortages allowed design firms to capture maximum rent. Net income reached historic highs, creating a wave of institutional buying. This performance set an incredibly high bar for the rest of the year. Now look at how the broader sector is reacting as we enter the third quarter. The explosive margin growth that characterized the first half of the year is beginning to level off. We are seeing early signs of margin digestion as production costs rise and customer mix shifts. Taiwan Semiconductor has signaled rising operational costs associated with expanding their footprint outside of Taiwan. Broadcom's latest metrics show steady performance, but the rate of acceleration is starting to moderate. This stabilization suggests that the low-hanging fruit of initial AI infrastructure deployment has been fully priced in by the market. The next signal comes from management's capital allocation and execution strategies. Corporate leaders are shifting their focus from raw capacity expansion to long-term efficiency and shareholder returns. Nvidia has adjusted its development cycle to a rapid, annual release cadence to maintain its performance lead. Broadcom is focusing heavily on integrating its VMware acquisition to create a more diversified, software recurring revenue stream. These strategic moves show that management teams recognize the risks of relying solely on cyclical hardware sales. They are building robust ecosystems to lock in enterprise customers for the long term. That leads us to a critical bottleneck: packaging and manufacturing capacity. TSMC's management has repeatedly warned that advanced packaging capacity, specifically chip-on-wafer-on-substrate, remains highly constrained. Despite running factories at maximum utilization, they cannot meet the immediate demand from NVIDIA and AMD. This supply constraint limits near-term revenue upside, regardless of how high demand climbs. While capital expenditures are rising to address this issue, these complex facilities take years to build. This delay creates a natural ceiling on revenue growth over the next few quarters. This capacity constraint is occurring within a rapidly shifting macro environment. The massive capital rotation out of high-flying technology names and into defensive sectors has begun. Rising bond yields and shifting central bank policies are forcing portfolio managers to reassess risk premiums. The highly crowded trades of Q2 are experiencing liquidation as institutional capital seeks cheaper, less volatile assets. This rotation is not investor panic or a reflection of deteriorating fundamentals. Instead, it is a structural adjustment to a more restrictive macro environment with higher cost of capital. Geopolitical developments are further complicating this industry landscape. The push for domestic semiconductor manufacturing in the US and Europe is creating a highly fragmented supply chain. While government subsidies from the CHIPS Act offer some financial relief, building localized foundries is incredibly expensive. TSMC, ASML, and Intel are investing hundreds of billions of dollars to build redundant capacity globally. This regionalization strategy reduces single point of failure risks but inevitably increases structural operating costs. This shift could lead to long-term pressure on gross margins across the entire sector. These structural headwinds bring us to the primary risk facing the sector: hyperscaler capital expenditure fatigue. Tech giants like Microsoft, Alphabet, and Meta have spent historic sums on AI infrastructure over the past 18 months. However, the monetization of these artificial intelligence tools is developing much slower than the underlying infrastructure spend. If these hyperscalers do not see clear returns on their massive investments, they may moderate their hardware orders. This capital expenditure pullback would immediately impact the order books of NVIDIA, Broadcom, and their suppliers. There is also the threat of classic semiconductor cyclicality. Investors often forget that the chip industry is historically highly cyclical. When demand spikes, producers build massive capacity, which eventually leads to oversupply and price erosion. While artificial intelligence has created a unique structural demand wave, other sectors like PCs, smartphones, and automotive chips are showing sluggish recovery. If these traditional segments remain weak, any slowdown in AI infrastructure spend could trigger a sharp, industry-wide inventory correction. This risk dynamic forces a serious forward valuation reassessment. The multiples applied to semiconductor leaders reached extreme historical deviations during the Q2 peak. When trading at historically elevated price-to-earnings ratios, there is zero room for execution errors or macro shifts. As we look into the remainder of the year, earnings expectations must align with realistic capacity limitations. Analysts are beginning to normalize their multi-year growth assumptions, leading to a healthy downward repricing of stretched valuations across the board. From a portfolio management perspective, this environment requires a highly tactical approach. We are placing high-beta design names under a trim consideration framework as their valuations touch historical extremes. This does not mean abandoning the secular AI thesis. but rather managing position sizes defensively. Concurrently, we are placing dominant, infrastructure critical names like Broadcom and TSMC on our breakout watch list. These companies possess the structural pricing power and recurring revenue models needed to weather near-term capital rotation while maintaining long-term leadership. This structural pause is a necessary adjustment for long-term health. The Q3 cooldown is a reminder that even the most powerful technological revolutions must operate within macro constraints. For sophisticated investors, this volatility presents a window to identify structural winners with sustainable competitive advantages. To stay ahead of these institutional market shifts, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Join our community of professional investors as we continue to track global capital flows and structural market trends.